There's research showing that individuals who broke down their goals into a daily action plan feel more motivated and believe that they're more likely to achieve their goals. And there's also research showing that 33% more people achieved their goals when they wrote down their goals, created a daily action plan, and reviewed their progress towards their goals weekly. Now, if you want to achieve your goals and you want to change your life, you need a daily action plan. You need a daily action plan that focuses you and makes you do deliberate action towards taking actionable steps towards achieving your goals and your vision. Because if you don't have a daily action plan, you'll lose momentum and you might just run the risk of forgetting your goals because of how busy life could get. And your daily action plan needs to be impactful. What's on it needs to directly progress to your vision. That way you progress every single day and you're forcing progress towards your vision and your goals. We want to change our life in 6 months after all. So in this video, I'll show you my full process on how I break down your goals or your big vision all the way down into a daily action plan that forces you towards achieving your goals. I brought the iPad out, so we're gonna dive into this together. All right, so by the end of this video, I want you to basically craft your own version of a daily action plan, and it should look something like this. You should understand what are the habits and routines you need to do every single day, and what are the tasks you need to do in a daily basis, in a weekly basis to achieve your goals. Now, before we get to a daily action plan, we need to understand how do we know what to put into our daily action plan, because you could just set up a to-do list, but then when you set up to-do list, it might not be the things that's going to actually move towards your vision. So the system works like so. So it's a big system. It's all based on alignment. So we start at the top of things, your vision, and then from the vision, we break that down into goals and milestones. Then we break it down into key targets. Key targets are broken down into projects, habits, routines, and then projects are broken down into tasks. Now, before you get overwhelmed, we're gonna go through this step by step together, and you can go ahead and grab a notebook or a Google Doc or Notion doc, whatever, and you can follow along and fill this out based on what you want to achieve and what you want to change in your life. So the first thing we need to figure out is your vision. What is your North Star? Because once we figure out your North Star, then we can align everything else down up to your North Star, and then your daily action plan is directly related to what's going to progress you towards your vision. Now, your vision is basically what do you want to achieve? How do you want your life to look like 6 months from now or a year from now or whenever? Now, you can go ahead and fill this out on a piece of paper, Notion doc, Google Doc, but I'm gonna go ahead and use myself as an example, and you can go ahead and fill this out alongside with me. Now, personally, my vision is to hit $50,000 per month by the end of 2025. That's my vision, by the end of 2025. Now, you want to write down your vision of how you want your life to look like, whether that's 10K per month, 20K per month, whatever. This is for me in my business. Now, if you have another goal, let's say you want to get in the best shape of your life. You want to hit 6% body fat, or you want to get a promotion, whatever it is, this is where you'd write it down in your vision. And ideally, you want to have one single goal, one single North Star that's going to encapsulate everything that you want. This doesn't necessarily need to be a number as well. This could be just a qualitative experience that you want to have. Let's say you want to travel to 100 countries. That could be your goal. So whatever your vision is, we want to fill that out over here. Now, once we figure out your vision, we want to create a roadmap towards your vision. What are the goals and milestones that you need to hit that's going to signify that you've progressed towards achieving your vision? So personally, since my goal is to hit 50K per month, this is my vision over here. So this is my vision over here. That means if I would break it down into milestones, I'm gonna break it down into 4 milestones over here. Let's say this is 0. This would be 12.5K. This would be 25K, this would be 32.5K, and then that would be 50K per month. So it's very simple. You just want to break down your milestones and divide it by 4 or whatever qualitative measures that you need to hit that'll directly progress you towards your goals. Let's say you want to travel to 100 countries, just a random example. You travel to 25 countries, 50 countries, 75 countries, and 100 countries. Just make it straightforward, very simple. If it's qualitative, then you want to describe it qualitatively, how things would look like as you progress towards your vision. Okay, I'm just using a quantitative number because it's easy to understand. Now, once you have your milestones, then you want to break your milestones into key targets. Because as you progress towards your milestone, this is not necessarily under your control. What we want to do is we want to figure out what is under our control, or objectives under our control that we could influence that'll directly allow us to hit 12.5K per month. Now, how I run my business, there are 3 key targets I need to hit. So you want to figure out, if you run your own business, you have your own milestones, you want to figure out what is the mechanism that you need to do that you could pull on, or the levers that you could pull on that'll directly progress you towards your milestone. If this is fitness, it would be your step count, your calories, the workouts you hit. These are the levers that you pull. If it's business, it's going to be the amount of emails you send, the content you post, the amount of clients you reach out, prospects you reach out. So those are the things that are under your control. In business, it's offers made. In fitness, it's your caloric intake, the workouts you do, and then anything else you need to figure out the mechanism that you need to do that is under your control that allows you to hit your next goal and milestones. So I'm going to go ahead and use myself as an example. So a key target for me is 8 quality YouTube vids a month. That's a key target I want to hit. And then 60 emails to my email list, and then 2 workshops a month. So that's what I need to do. That is directly under my control that allow me to hit my next milestone, which is right over here. So as I achieve these goals and I maintain these goals, I maintain posting 8 quality YouTube videos per month, I maintain posting 60 emails a month, or 2 emails a day to my email list, and I maintain doing 2 workshops a month, and I maintain doing these key targets. That will directly progress me towards my next milestone. Okay, each milestone will have different key targets. You might need to tweak them, you might need to increase them, you might need to do completely new things. So based on each of these paths, as you go along, you want to review this, which I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. Okay, so this is just path number 1. Okay, so once you figure out path number 1, there's going to be these 3 key targets. So you need to put up these 3 key targets and need to make sure you dial into what matters now. What is active right now? Because if you look at these 3 key targets at the same time, you're going to feel really overwhelmed, right? So let's say we dragged all of these key targets over here. So let's say this is YouTube. So let's say this is the YouTube one, this is the workshop one, and then this is the email. So how you maintain focus is you want to focus on one active key target at a time. One active key target at a time. Because if you have multiple key targets, you're going to be very confused. So when you sit on your desk, when you get to work, we want to have only one active key target at a time. So for now, let's say email is our first key target. Okay, we work on email. Once we're done with email, then we bring in the next key target. Once we're done with email, we hit the target, then we bring in the next key target. And this is very important because when people set key targets, they try to do all of these things at once, and then they just lose momentum. They just get so overwhelmed where they achieve nothing. So here's where we want to make sure that we focus on one thing at a time. So we start with email. We focus 1 month on sending 60 emails a month or growing the email list, whatever your key target is. Once we complete that, then we bring in the next target. We bring in YouTube. Because what we want to do is, especially when you work on these things, you want to build up the system so you can maintain it. If this is new, sending 60 emails a month is going to be very hard while posting a YouTube video. So we start with making sure we conquer one key target. We set up these systems. We know how to do it. We build up the habit. It's ingrained into our lifestyle. Then we bring in the next key target. If you could do them all at the same time, cool, go ahead. But this is the best way to maintain focus, especially if you run a business and you have multiple key targets that are kind of different. It's going to require you to focus on one key target to achieve and then move on to the next key target. Okay, so this is called the pull system. This is called a pull system because we're not pushing things, we're pulling things. So once we complete something, we pull in the next key target. We're not pushing all key targets to active. We're setting one key target to active, work on it, complete it, and then we pull in the next one. So it's called a pull system. Now, the thing is, for each of these key targets, there is going to be a project or projects we need to complete to achieve key targets. So let's say the key target was email again, right? Email. You want to send 60 emails a day. Now, a good example of a project for email would be lead magnet. Let's say this, I'm going to put this as an example as project 1 over here because it's active there, so you can use it as an example. So project 1, let's say this is lead magnet. This is welcome sequence. And then let's say project 3 is your launch campaign. Okay, so to get your email set up, you need to first do a lead magnet, then you need to set up a project 2, which is a welcome sequence, and then project 3 would be a launch campaign. Now, based on this key target, we got 3 projects for email. So now, to make sure we also maintain focus, we do the same thing again. So we drag in project 1. So this is lead magnet. So as we progress with project 1, we work on project 1. And then as we complete project 1, then we drag that to complete it, and then we drag in the next project, which is the welcome sequence, and so on. Now, another thing is there are going to be habits and routines that you need to do that's going to allow you to accomplish a key target. So growing your email list might require a habit of posting content onto social media every single day, making sure you promote your email list. So that's a habit over here. So let's say this is promote email list. Okay, based on your key targets, you're going to get 2 things: a list of projects and then a series of habits and routines that you need to do to achieve that key target. Cool. So once we get that, then we understand that we again use the pull system here. We only work, habits and routines can be worked simultaneously because they're a little bit easier, but because projects require attention and focus and actually have a series of actions you need to do and requires more focus, then we'd focus on one project at a time. What most people do wrong is they set multiple projects active at a time and then they just split their attention and they don't actually complete things. If you want more information on this, on the pull system and flow, I have a video on my channel. You can check it out over here. It's called the flow system. It shows you exactly how to implement this and why this is the fastest way to get work done most efficiently. Cool. So now we understand that we have projects, habits, routines. How do we break down projects down into tasks? So projects are basically a series of tasks that you need to do step by step. And when you complete each task, you complete the project. To have a completed project, you need to first figure out what are the tasks you need to complete. And then you'd work on each task. And as you work on each task, that's how you complete a project, when you have a task breakdown. So that's the next step, is you want to break down what are the series of tasks you need to do to complete a project. So let's take the example of a welcome sequence. I'm going to use a welcome sequence just for the sake because it's a bit easier. So welcome sequence. Let's say that is our next up project. So task 1 will probably be write email 1, email 1, email 2, email 4, email 5. Cool. So, and this would be welcome sequence here, right? So as we work on these tasks, we write email 1, we're done. We write email 2, we're done. We write 3 and 4, just put it like that. And you fill email 3, you fill email 4, you work on these, you get these done, then you complete the welcome sequence. So now there's a gradual progression on how you complete things. Cool. Now the final step is, that's where we come up with our daily action plan. So all of these tasks, I'm going to go ahead and erase these. All of these tasks, this is where we make sure we add that into our daily action plan. So this would be task 1, which is email 1, task 2, email 2, task 3, email 3, and task 4, email 4. So based on how your calendar looks like, this is where you want to pull things in. So let's say this is promote email list. So every Sunday, we're going to promote the email list. And then if you have another habits routine for email, let's say email is send a weekly email. So let's say every Friday you send a weekly email, or send you email. I send daily emails, but if you send a weekly email, that would be there. You schedule that on your calendar. Task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4 would be there. And then as you complete these things, because this is going to be repeatedly, promote email list, send a weekly email, you're probably going to do that repeatedly every single week. Let me do that. So you should have an option where you repeat this on your calendar, so you know exactly when you need to get things done. Now, as you progress things, as you complete things, and as you drag projects back in, you're going to get new tasks, you're going to get new habits, routines, you're going to start adding that onto your daily action plan. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to notice that your daily action plan is going to be directly aligned to your vision goal. And as you progress things forward, you start adding things to your daily action plan, rather than just having this big confusion of not knowing what to put on your action plan. This gives you a step-by-step process on what to put on your action plan, and to make sure that it is exactly step-by-step, it is progressing. Your projects are being progressed. So you complete these tasks, see, like so. You complete the project, you bring in the next project, then you fill up new tasks. Okay, you complete these tasks, you complete the project, you bring the next project, and because you completed all of these projects, let's say as an example, you completed all of these projects here, project 1, 2, and 3, then you bring in the next goal, which is YouTube. So then now you bring in YouTube. So now you have a new project on YouTube. YouTube is going to have a new set of tasks. You put in those tasks on your calendar and you conquer YouTube. You get this fixed. Then you do workshops, whatever your next key target is. You bring that in, you drag it in, you set up the projects, set up the habits routine, and then set that up on your daily action plan. This allows you step by step to build up momentum and to take things step by step, rather than just being so confused on what you need to do to reach your goals. So this really clarifies things and gives you a system on aligning your top vision all the way down into a daily action plan. Now, if you found this helpful, I sent daily insights on how you could get 8 hours of work done in 2, and how you could implement systems to set this up in your life. If you want access to that, you can click the link in the description and join my email list. It's called the 2-Hour Newsletter, the 2-Hour Man's Newsletter, and I'll see you there. Take care.